This week's episode on the Travel Channel. Discovering Islands Unknown, Samoa.
Hi, I'm Mary Louise Bolt.
And I'm Catherine Nielsen, and we're co-anchors on this segment of Discovering Unknown Islands. Go ahead.
This week's island is Samoa.
Check it out.
Samoa is located in the heart of Polynesia in the South Pacific and consists of 10 islands with a population of about 185,000. Of the 10 islands, the main ones are Upolu, which is where the capital Apia is located, and Savai. Samoa is the postcard for natural beauty because of its many islands that contain amazing beaches, volcanic mountain peaks, tropical rainforests, waterfalls, and blue lagoons. The amazing environment as well as the rich culture and heritage make it a perfect island to feature in our series.
Samoa is an island full of wonderful tourism, which is the reason why we chose to feature it this week. Yet it is surprising how little people know about it. We discovered it is because of its size, location, and the fact that it's still developing, that people don't know it is such a vibrant place to visit. In order to find out the problems of its development, my co-anchor Catherine was able to research and even travel to Samoa to talk to a government correspondent about the issues.
Thank you, Mary Louise. Through my research, I was able to find out that the 5 main problems of its development are the environment, tourism, trade, gender inequality, and unemployment. The Samoan environment has a narrow resource base with shallow, fertile soils that are vulnerable to erosion. Its forestry resources are declining as its population is creating more demand for agricultural land uses, which leads to land degradation and more erosion. The tourism sector accounts for 25% of its GDP. However, there are many parts of the land that could be used for more tourism, as well as current tourism locations that are in need of improvements and better management to ensure success in the future. Samoa has a large amount of unemployed youth due to its large growing youth population, as well as a high unemployment rate overall. This has contributed to its remote communities that suffer from unequal opportunities and benefits than those in the urban areas. About 26.9% of the population lives below the poverty line, mainly found in the rural communities. Samoa faces a big problem of gender inequality that has left many women disadvantaged in terms of work opportunities and income. It ranks 3.5 in the CPIA indicator in gender inequality, 6 being the highest from the World Bank. Samoa is extremely import dependent because it has virtually no minerals, a modest fishing zone, and a small domestic market. It has recently been attempting to diversify its economy. For example, the light manufacturing industry has grown in Samoa and has attracted foreign investments, but the country is in need of much more help in that area. To find out what their government is doing to fix these problems, I've traveled to Samoa to interview their government correspondent that agreed to meet with me. Here's a video of what I found out. Let's watch. Here I am with our correspondent Filippo, who works closely with the sector of government that helps develop Samoa. First off, we would like to know how your country is working on the environment.
To improve the quality of our environment, we are following the UN Environmental Program. By following this program, we will work to ensure sustainable agriculture, to decrease the demands for more land, and decrease the land degradation and erosion. To do this, we will ensure the participation of the people in rural communities and places of high agricultural production, as well as agricultural policy review to prioritize sustainable development. Also, we will invest more funding into land resource planning, agriculture education, land conservation, and land rehabilitation to help prevent further damage to our environment.
What is your government doing to improve tourism?
To improve tourism in Samoa, we aim to follow methods used by the Hong Kong Tourism Association. This is a semi-public national tourism organization responsible for promotion and marketing activities. Our government plans to set up their own association with similar functional activities, such as coordinating public and private sector activities of the travel industry and implementing promotional and marketing campaigns. We plan on the government funding our own association with some funding from private sector.
What is your government doing to increase trade?
In order to improve our trade, Samoa is following the Aid for Trade strategy that many other island nations of the Pacific have used. By following the Aid for Trade strategy, we are working to mobilize our resources to send better signals to investors and foreign development partners to show that we have the ability to coordinate existing and future resources for trade and investment. We will do this by increasing trade-related infrastructure, such as our ports and productive capacity. To develop and diversify our products and markets, we are working to increase the investment put into our agriculture and fishing markets, as well as smaller-based enterprises in our rural communities.
How is your government approaching the issue of gender inequality?
In order to improve our gender inequality, we are following the methods of the Turkey model. This involves working to improve the quality of our preschool, secondary, and tertiary education for women, as well as improving the child care options and flexible work arrangements for women. Also, our government is working to provide incentives to employers to hire women and to introduce incentives to self-employed women and part-time workers. This will help the women of our country access higher paying jobs with better working conditions to help stimulate economic growth and the reduction of poverty due to the reduction in the gender inequality over the long term. Turkey has had much success with their model, and our government sees their success as the future for Samoa in terms of this issue.
How is your government working to decrease unemployment?
To improve unemployment, we are following the views of the Keynesian theory. Keynes believed that an increase in unemployment reduces income, which reduces consumption and reduces aggregate output. Individuals base their decision on current income receipts. Unemployment benefits thus serve to compensate the job loser from the fall in income. Increases in unemployment compensation have a stimulative effect on the economy, as prolonged unemployment cases a reduction in income receipts and therefore a decline in aggregate demand and a reduction in real output. We hope that there will be more jobs available as our environment improves and tourism becomes more active.
Thank you so much for your time.
As you can see, Samoa is striving to make improvements among its islands.
It should definitely be on your top list of places to visit.
I know it's on mine.
You won't regret your visit. We'll see you next time on the Travel Channel.